sorry I made it about myself. I always do. This is why people
No,
hate my show.
no. I think it was analogous. Is that it was like an analogy. It was analogous.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay, wrapping it up. So again, we have Moog, Angie, and randomly Ronnie Jr. Just talking about all things pop culture. Can you guys end the show here? We're just going to talk about iconic pop culture moments as you grew up. Something that was like, ooh, I want to be in this, or this really shaped me in some kind of way. What do you guys got?
Okay, so for me, it's a little bit more recent, and I don't know. For me, it was iconic, and it was when Sweet Brown was bartending on Watch What Happens Live, and the guests were Shamar Moore, and I don't know who the other guest was, because the moment
you got me at Shamar Moore, but keep going.
Shamar Moore. Okay, so for Sweet Brown, ain't nobody got time for that. She was the guest bartender, and things got very weird. A lot of alcohol was being consumed, and at the end of the show, Shamar Moore made out with Sweet Brown, and it was glorious. Because I don't think that she expected Shamar Moore of what was his? I remember him from Young and the Restless.
He's on some crime
But he was
show.
He's on, I think, SWAT now. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, but he's been around forever.
FBI one too, and I think that's
okay.
what he was on when that happened. And it for me, it was everything, because she was the guest bartender because she had her viral 15 minutes of fame from doing the ain't nobody got time for that.
Mm-hmm.
But him, an accomplished actor who was there as Andy Cohen's guest answering questions and whatever, and he just was like, screw it. And they did the shot ski, they drank the shot ski, and then he kissed her. And for me, it lives rent free in my head. And I made Moog watch it the other day because I just thought it was the best thing I'd ever seen.
Did you guys see that I took a shot with Reba McEntire recently?
No.
You did?
Yeah, keep talking. Somebody's talk. I'm gonna pull up the little clip here. Somebody, Moog, tell your story, and then I'm gonna get to it.
Before I do, why doesn't Angie do a performance of the theme song from Reba?
Did you watch Reba too?
I love Reba. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops, with gentle hands and the heart of a fighter. I'm a survivor.
I was not prepared here, but we were talking about Watch What Happens Live. It'll come up in a little bit.
Watch What Happens Live, and Andy Cohen, I guess someone asked if she'd ever done poppers, and she was like,
oh, because she was on there with Troye Sivan. Yeah. She says, "What's a popper?"
Yeah.
And they were like, "I'll tell you after the show." It was really a great show. This past week, I have a better clip, but this is the one I'm going to use. Reba was on with Troye Sivan. Watch What Happens Live. Darn, the clip is still processing. Okay, Moog, back to you.
Okay, so in terms of pop culture, iconic pop culture moments, I'm going to bring up the VMAs in 2009. The first thing, of course, that everybody thinks of is Taylor Swift, Kanye West. That whole thing is wild, of course. And really, who won in that? Because Taylor Swift is owning things now. But that same year, and this is something that's often overshadowed, and Angie reminded me of it recently, was when Jay-Z and Alicia Keys were performing one of the biggest songs of 2009, which was Empire State of Mind. And out of nowhere, Lil Mama came on stage and just started dancing around with them. Kanye was not the only one to interrupt at the VMAs in 2009.
She was feeling it, yeah.
And Jay-Z and Alicia Keys are performing this. I mean, Empire State of Mind is an epic song, and they had a great performance, but for no reason.
Well, and there's even a little clip that shows, like, before she goes on stage, Beyonce literally is like trying to stop Mama from going on stage. I would heed Beyonce's advice if Beyonce it were me. No. But no, she was really feeling it.
Did she also try to get Beyonce to come on stage also with her? Or was that maybe that was a different clip? Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Everyone's like, "Oh, Beyonce didn't come to the MTV Awards." It's like, because every time she goes, she can't just sit there and watch the show. Yeah. I want to piggyback what you're saying, though, the significance in terms of pop culture of the MTV Awards, because while I understand things have changed over the years and digital, social media, there's other shows in town, let's say. growing up, the significance, even from day one, Madonna performing like a virgin. And, you know, Madonna's got her Celebration World Tour right now where she's covering all the decades. Like, I just look at all those wonderful Britney Spears, MTV Video Music Award events.
The Kiss was at the VMAs, right?
Yes.
And
yeah,
then
that was
the Eminem Christina Aguilera awkwardness when
Yes.
she presented him with that award.
She presented him with the award. I remember the 1997 VMAs watching an interaction between Busta Rhymes and Martha Stewart, and they were presenting together, and it was magical. Looking back, I feel like Busta Rhymes was probably high or drunk, but back then I didn't know because I was in 5th grade. And they had such a funny interaction, and it was like, gosh, at the VMAs, anybody can come together. What
was the VMAs also when, this is a little further back, when Mariah and Whitney Houston came in the same dress, but then Mariah had a tearaway?
Yes.
They don't make moments like that anymore.
Or when wasn't it the VMAs when it was Lil Kim and she was wearing the thing and then the whatever, and Diana Ross went on stage and did a little to her boob. I mean, the VMAs, man. What
anything
time.
goes.
That's why I get so saddened when people are like, "Oh, it doesn't even matter. It's not relevant or whatever." I hate that word. But it was for so many years, and it was like the big show in town. And I just think there's lots of really great MTV VMA.
Like the VMAs this year, I watched it mostly because I'm a Shakira, like obsessed with Shakira. And
nice.
The Video Vanguard Award, and she did an epic performance, and it was like a medley, 10 minutes long of all her hits. I think MTV is not where you go to watch music videos, but I think if you watch the VMAs, you still get some great content out of it. But people always forget about it because ridiculousness is on for 19 hours a day.
I know, and all I want them to play is old reruns of The Real World, but that's neither here nor there. Come on, MTV. Iconically, also J-Lo with the Versace green dress originally.
Oh yeah,
that was an MTV. That was a Google break. Oh, that was a Grammy. Oh, okay, we'll see.
Grammys.
Sorry, I just love J-Lo so much. I like to insert her in every conversation.
Yeah, that was the thing that spawned Google image search. Was that dress specifically because everybody wanted to see it, and that's when Google, like they said that was that they added image search.
That was it. Yeah, that was the original. Oh, one great MTV moment that wasn't just performance based, but also like, you know, us loving radio and broadcast. When Kurt Loder, they were on some like riser, Kurt Loder's interviewing a little bit more of an evolved Madonna, because Madonna had always been so shock value when she was younger. And Madonna's still really young in this particular era. But then the new girl in town was Courtney Love. And she's throwing her compact up there. And Kurt Loder's over here just like, let's invite her up. Let's make a, you know, in his head, or even the producer, let's make a scene. And it was just one of those really good moments. I think, what does Madonna say? She shades her so lightly. They're talking about all these really great things at the award show, and Madonna goes, and apparently there's a lot of really great drugs that are here too.
Yes, that
very
was
subtle.
Behind Madonna.
Yeah.
She's since regressed.
Yeah.
She's had her eras though.
Yeah.
She has had her. Madonna is always going to be a career reinvention throughout it all, and that's what I do love about her. She's gonna misstep sometimes, but she's really wonderful. I have that clip real quick. I just think it's really fun taking a shot. I say with, but it wasn't with. Taking a shot with Reba McEntire.
See you in Vegas, y'all. Hey, let's go to the fans. Ronnie from Los Angeles has a question for Reba McEntire. Ronnie, what's your question?
Andy and Troy, I got love for you, but I cannot believe I am sitting here with Reba McEntire. I got to take a shot before I do anything.
All right. Nice. Wow. Doing a shot. What's your question?
Reba, even though you were previously appearing on The Voice as a mentor, did you get any advice from Kelly Clarkson on how to be a judge?
No, I didn't get any advice, but she told me I was going to have a blast. That was the best job, one of the best jobs she's ever had. She said, you're going to have a blast with everyone, and she is so right.
That's great. Let's go to Hillary and Jordan from Columbus with a question for Troy.
Hey.
And I like that she's still like cool with Kelly Clarkson, it seems, even though they have a messy divorce with her son.
Right. Oh, yeah. Which kind of makes the question a little shady. She didn't really jump on it, but that's what I love. And I guess I kind of referenced it when we were talking about Jada and all entertainers for that matter. Like I always look at like who is it? Like Whoopi. Whoopi Goldberg's always like, oh, I don't use Twitter, where everyone else sort of kind of has to. If you've made it a career for yourself years ago, you don't have to go and play in the mess that is going on a lot of times. And it's unfortunate for entertainers these days, theater entertainers, singers, opera singers, radio talent, that everyone has to get so messy. So I really bask in, and that's why this moment was so wonderful with Reba, that I'm talking to a superstar, just virtually through the Skype, but a superstar that came up in an era that they didn't have to show everything. I think there's something really pure and fresh about that, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
We're not at that level, so I'm about to out you on something right now, John.
Look at Angie's like, we're gonna get our career to the top, and I'm dropping a scandal on Tuesday.
Working culture.
Yeah. No, I don't have any dirt on you. If anything, you have dirt on me.
This was great talking pop culture with you guys. I could do it, many a times.
Yeah, let's do it one day.
Yeah.
We get to talk and we get to talking. You guys, I will say, are a really good radio team, and wherever everyone ends up going, be it myself or the two of you, like I just want us all to succeed.
Hey, Ronnie Jr.